So I was just saying, if you have a place you can kick up in handstand today, like a wall that's a little empty where you're not going to like kick a painting off the wall or whatever, then that's helpful. So if you want to find a little spot, feel free. Again, if you're like, I don't have that, then that's fine. We'll make do. We can do something else in those moments, or you'll work with what you have in the center of your space. But if you do have a spot, that'll be good. And then if you have a block or blocks at your house, cool, have those handy. If you don't, you might want like a couple books that you could, like we would use it as a perch for your feet, if that helps. A perch for your feet for crow pose, meaning when you are working into crow, you are going to, like, again, some of you don't need this, but if you would, we'll be doing that. So again, it could be a couple books or something that you could just rest your feet upon there for a few moments. So let me think. I think that's it. So blocks if you have them, or books if you want them. You don't have to. We can make do with the floor. And then at least a little, hopefully a space on your wall that you can kick up on, that you're not going to kick a painting off of the wall or a picture or whatever. Okay, that's it. That is your check-in with the practice. So today, we will move, we will flow, we'll get warm, but it's all going to be geared into preparing the body for handstand, crow, and some side planks. And I pretty much do side planks in every practice for sure, and all of you have practiced me before. So we'll be doing that. But with the side planks, I'm going to give some little more detailed breakdowns of options that you can add in and transitions you can add in your side planks. So you might be somebody that's like takes a side plank and does it all the time, but when there's like other options, you're either not sure what those options are, or maybe how to get there or how to transition there. And so we'll break down a little bit of that today as well, so that you can, when you're in a normal class, when there's side plank options, if there's ways that you want to expand and build into that, you'll know, right? And it's an appropriate space for you to explore and connect with. So it'll ebb and flow, the practice, between moving like we would in normal vinyasa practice, but then kind of stopping and breaking some stuff down. And then also then weaving those poses that we're breaking down kind of back into some flow work. So should be fun. And yeah, that's it. If you want to, I didn't make like a special, I should have, a special like Three Kings playlist, because I thought we would be talking a little bit more today. But if you want any background music, you can play any of the Spotify playlist or anything of your own today if you want. And you can always turn it off if you want to really pay attention when we're breaking down poses, or you could go opt for no music today. You're going to start on your backs. As always, I just felt like I talked so much in like 5 minutes. That was a lot. I'm exhausted. Legs out long, or feet out about the width of your mat with your knees resting in towards one another. Either is good. And wiggle into just a few minutes to drop into this practice and this experience here today. And so very glad that all of you have taken this time and taken this journey to explore with me here this afternoon. It can be hard to find time to show up right now, right? It can be hard and daunting, perhaps, to know that we're breaking down poses that maybe aren't a normal part of your practice. That can be daunting. It can be easy to try and talk yourself out of it. And so what I like to remind you is that it isn't about the ending pose itself at all. It never, ever is. Instead, it's about the journey. It's about the learning. It's about the growth. It's about being able to show up however you are and learn and put yourself in these situations that really do enhance growth and opportunity and uncomfortableness, right? Because it helps us know ourselves a little more, and it helps us know our practice. And then allow all of your attention and awareness to go right to your breath. And today, even more than even other days and other practice, I mean, the breath is always important. But what I find that you already need to bring into your mind's eye is that I want your breath to stay present in even the moments that are challenging, in those arm balances, in the handstand work, all of that. We have the tendency to show up into those harder poses or challenging postures, and then we hold our breath. I want you to commit today to doing the exact opposite. When you arrive into those shapes, into those postures, I want you to breathe deeper. I want you to breathe more fully into the depths of yourself. That breath has started to transition to a nose breath, right? In and out through your nose. That slight suspension at the tops of your breaths in, and slight suspension at the bottoms of your breaths out. Maybe you take a hand to your heart and a hand to your low belly here for the last few moments that we're here to arrive into our practice here today. And I want you to just put a physical touch to the rise and the fall of your chest and your belly, in and out of your palms. Reach down, gather up your legs, pull your knees all the way into your chest. Rock it out a little bit, side to side. Some baby circles on the floor with your sacrum in each direction, massaging along your low back space. Bring your legs to about 90-ish degrees. Arms out to the side like a T or cactus arms. Pull your belly back and draw your low ribs down and into your spine. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, lower your legs to the right to hover. Spin your belly and ribs to your left. Inhale, work it back through center. Exhale, legs to your left. Draw your belly and ribs to your right. Inhale, work it back through center. Another set. Exhale, legs right, belly ribs left. Inhale, work it back through center. Exhale, legs left, belly ribs right. Inhale, work it back through center. Pause here. Lengthen your legs all the way up towards the ceiling now. And then I want you to reach your arms instead of out to the side like a T. I want you to bring them all the way up over the top of the head. And notice how that changes the experience a little bit. You're kind of letting the shoulders maybe creep up towards your ears. Really draw your shoulders down your back. And have it be so that your palms are actually flat up towards the ceiling, right? So palms facing up, back of the hands on the ground. So you really feel the shoulders draw down the back. Scoop your belly. Take a big breath in. This is gonna be hard. On your exhale, lower your legs to the right, any degree where you can keep your left shoulder still grounded. It's not gonna go far. Come back through center.
Exhale now, legs to the left. Any degree where you can still keep your right shoulder grounded. You can keep in control. Ooh, inhale back through center. Again, legs to the right. Again, this is super hard controlled work. Back through center and legs to the left, any degree where your right shoulder stays grounded. Inhale back through center, pause, keep the legs up, bring your hands now up towards the ceiling and flex your wrist, extend your wrist so that you're pressing now your palms up towards the ceiling. You're kind of hooking your fingers towards your face. And then flex your feet. Now take a big breath in. On your exhale, I want you to bring your arms back alongside your head and bring your legs forward, only as far towards the earth in each direction where you can maintain control on that core. And then back up, feet and palms towards the ceiling. And again, lower. And work it up. Let's do 2 more, just like that, lower. And work it up. Last one, lower down, scoop the belly, ribs pull in, and bring it back up. Knees into your chest, rock back and forth along your spine, building up a little bit of momentum until you can arrive all the way up to a seat. I'm gonna come a little closer for this next bit. So what I want, or how I want you to be, is I think it works best to either sit on a block or sit on something or just sit directly back onto your heels here. So Virasana, seat to heels for this one. But again, if you'd like to bring a block or a prop or a blanket underneath your seat, that works as well. Shoulder setting. So super important for your arm balances. You're gonna bring your arms out in front of you and then bend your elbows. Yes. Palms face forward. And I want you just a few times before you do a shoulder setting, I want you just to circle your shoulders up towards your ears and then down the back a few times. Yep. And then notice as you draw the shoulders down the back, I just want you to hold there. Now take a big breath in. I want you to let your breath expand in between your shoulder blades, back of the heart. Exhale. Draw the shoulders even more down the back. Feel that presence. Again, big breath in. Across the front of the chest this time. And as you exhale, isometrically draw your elbows in towards one another. So squeeze in. Yes. Big breath in. Exhale, press your forearms and elbows forward, like you're pressing something away from you. Again, big breath in. Upper back, exhale, shoulders draw down the back. Doesn't really look like you're moving, but you feel it, right? So active. Big breath in. Isometrically pull your elbows in towards one another. Squeeze in. Feel the pecs engage. Yes. Big breath in. Keep it. Exhale, press forward. Draw your shoulder blades away from one another. Protraction of the shoulder blades. Those arms, shoulders should be talking to you about now. One more set. Big breath in. Exhale, shoulders down the back. Big breath in. Elbows isometrically in towards one another. Big breath in. Press your forearms and elbows forward. Good. Keep the heat. Reach your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Flex your palms, right? Just like you would for handstand. Now notice where your spine is. Scoop your belly. Pull your ribs down. Let your pelvis draw down a little bit so your tailbone almost feels like it's tucking underneath you. Yeah. Big breath in. Exhale, shoulders down the back. There's just 2 for this one. Big breath in. Press your palms more up towards the ceiling. One more. Big breath in. Shoulders down the back. Big breath in. Press your hands up towards the ceiling. Good. Bring them down. Shake them out a little bit and cruise into tabletop position. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, your knees underneath your hips. Now, after that very intricate shoulder setting, I just want you to create movement, extension, and flexion of your spine. Let it move through cat-cow, any which way, shape, or form you like. You can circle the torso a little bit. You can shift some weight forward and back between your hands and your knees and your hands and your feet. Just awaken. Let this be intuitive movement. Doesn't need to be anything particular. It doesn't need to look any certain way. Spine comes all the way back through neutral. Curl your toes under. You're gonna come into a hovering tabletop. So press down, lift your knees up so they hover, shins up so they hover. And then I want you to do the same thing you just did. I want you to draw the shoulders down the back, isometrically draw your elbows in, so feel your biceps kind of pulling towards one another, and then press the ground away even more. Separate your shoulder blades. Now keep and hold. Belly back, ribs pull in. Keep your breath. Breathe deeper here instead of less. One more breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal your feet out here a little bit. Shake your head, yes and no. Excellent. Just check it out. Again, after those kind of more still and intricate movements, it feels good to just wash it out and move a little bit. Let that happen right here, right now. Take a big breath in through your nose. Exhale, let it out through your mouth. Walk your hands all the way back towards your feet here, one at a time, making a connection with your palms as you walk it back. Bend your knees now. Generously grab opposite elbows as you release your head and neck. Let the shoulders soften a little bit after all that shoulder setting. Let the upper body drape. One more breath in. Exhale, release your elbows. Inhale, breathe in, long spine, half lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Again, inhale, breathe in, long spine, half lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. One more, just like this. Inhale, long spine, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, walk it out, high plank pose. So plank is really, it is the blueprint of all of the arm balances we're gonna do today. Obviously, the blueprint for then moving into side plank. It is a blueprint for your crow pose. It is handstand. Like, it's basically the same thing. Handstand just gets a little harder because those arms are forward and you're putting all the weight in the hands and the shoulders, arms, instead of letting there be work in the legs here. But what I want you to find and take note of here is how active you can make your legs. Firm your quads, squeeze your glutes. Snapshot this in your mind's eye because I want your legs to be just as active when they're in handstand. One more breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, right leg lifts up. Exhale, step your foot all the way up between your hands. Crescent lunge, inhale, arms reach up. Good. Stay here, couple breaths. Wiggle in, first time here, press down, glute to heel on your right, press back through your left heel. Good. Bring your hands to your hips, bend your back knee here just a little bit. Step forward into your right foot, lift your left leg right into a standing knee raise. If you need to bump your foot in a little bit on the way, totally cool. Yep. Reach your arms back up overhead. Pull your belly back, draw your ribs down, activate your right quads, tailbone to heel. One more breath in. On your exhale, I want you to hinge forward and come right into standing splits. So hinge down, belly to thigh. Bend your right knee as much as you need to, and let your left leg get long and strong in the air. Hamstrings opening is also a really great, important thing, especially when we're doing our handstand today. The more open we can have a gateway into the backs of the legs, the easier it is to actually be able to bring ourselves up to handstand. Not as much as crow or side plank, but definitely handstands and headstand too. On your inhale, lengthen your spine out, half lift. Exhale, step it back, take a low lunge twist, left hand plants, inhale, right arm up. Stay for your exhale. One more big breath in. Exhale, both hands come down to your mat. Step it back to your high plank pose again. Stay for your exhale. Another big inhale. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down to your belly. Now, when you want to collapse, I want you to see, can you hold there? You might already be down. Maybe you come back up and hover, and then continue going all the way down. Tops of the feet to the earth from your quads into the mat. Don't worry, we'll do that one again. Inhale, lift up, cobra pose. Stay for your exhale. Take another big breath in. Exhale, lay it all the way back down. Toes will curl under. Inhale from your quads, pull your belly back. Exhale, press up, high plank or knee plank. Stay for an inhale. Exhalation, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, left leg lifts up. Exhale, step your foot up between your hands. Crescent lunge, inhale, arms reach up. Again, few breaths, wiggle in to that lower body. Find the glutes on the left side, press back to your right heel, that little checklist. Yep, work your hands to your hip points, bend your back knee, let your hip points lift, lengthening your tailbone down. Feel again that security, the grounding in the left leg, because that's where you're gonna take your weight. You're gonna step it forward into your standing knee raise. Good, hold here. Activate your left quads, tailbone down, arms reach up. Good, one more breath in. Exhale, tick-tock it down. Right leg extends, hinge nice and slow with control into that standing split work. Bend your left knee as much as you need to. Light up, make your right leg so long and strong in the air. That right leg is more important than your left. The left leg is your base. Really, not one leg is more important than the other. I want it to be an even distribution of intention. To open up and support on the left, but to lengthen and strengthen on your right. On your inhale, lengthen your heart, pull it forward. Exhale, step back, low lunge twist to your left, right hand plants. Inhale, left arm up. Stay for your exhale. One more breath in. Exhale, work it down. Step back, high plank pose. Chaturanga push-ups, big inhale. Exhale, lower down, no more than halfway. Inhale, back to high plank. Exhale, lower down, no more than halfway. So it can be halfway or less. Back to high plank. Last one, lower down. This is your hold and hover again. And come all the way down to your belly. Cobra pose, just an inhale, lift and peel. Exhale, lay it back down. Toes curl under, inhale from your quads, pull your belly back. Exhale, press up, high plank or knee plank. Stay for an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms reach up. Good. Exhale, hands to your hip, hover your back knee. Bring it forward, standing knee raise. Arms reach up. We're adding in. Press your left heel forward this time. Tick-tock it back. You're coming into warrior three. Somewhat like our handstand again. Arms can reach forward. Maybe they sweep back, but can you at least play with a breath or two with those arms forward? It changes it. One more breath in. Exhale, hinge and fold, standing splits, just one breath in, one breath out. Inhale, lift your heart, gaze forward. Exhale, step it back. Low lunge twist, left hand plants. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, both hands to the mat. Step back, high plank pose. Side plank on your left hand first. Roll onto the pinky edge of your left foot. Lift your right arm up. Press the earth away. Lift your right hip up. Now squeeze your glutes in a little bit. Reach your tailbone towards your heels. Good. Breathe. Good. One more breath in.
Exhale, high plank pose. Big breath in. Exhale, chaturanga, halfway or to your belly. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. A full breath in, reground, repurpose. A full breath out. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, send it through. Crescent lunge. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to your hips, bend your back knee. Inhale, step forward, standing knee raise. Arms reach up. Adding on, press your right foot forward and tick-tock it back. Warrior three. Again, see what it's like with those arms forward, right? Because that is handstand. Also, it somewhat is crow, right? But your elbows would just be bent. But your shoulders are in flexion, so it's different than when your arms are to the side. One more breath in. Exhale, hinge and fold. You're just here for one breath in your standing splits. One breath out. Inhale, lift your heart, gaze forward. Exhale, step it back, low lunge twist, right hand plants. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, both hands to the mat, step it back, high plank pose. Right hand is your base this time. Left arm, reach it up, side plank, Vashisthasana. Press the earth away. Draw your right hip under a little bit. Draw your left hip point forward a little bit. Squeeze the glutes, reach your tailbone towards your heels. One more breath in. Exhale, high plank pose. Vinyasa or downward facing dog. Breath in. Exhale, lower your knees, come to a seat. This will be breakdown number one. So this is gonna take us into a couple things with side plank. So we're gonna go over a couple options in that side plank, and we're also gonna go over a couple transitions that you can use in a flow, either coming into side plank or coming out of side plank. So I'm actually gonna do a couple transitions first. They're ones that I actually offer up a lot in practice. So I'm gonna have you watch just for a moment. You don't need to do it just yet, and then we will do it all together, okay? I'll walk it through you together. So the first one that I do a lot, that you hear me cue a lot, is from that twist. Again, you don't have to do it because we're gonna do it all in a second. Just watch so you can see the transition, because I know it's hard to see and listen and then bring it into your body, especially on a screen when you're practicing from home. So what I tend to do is I start to shift my weight, I press the earth away, I roll onto the pinky edge of my foot first and ignite my left leg, fire my quads, and then keep pressing as I step my right foot back atop my left. There's my side plank, right? So that's transition number one. Transition number two, coming out, that I give sometimes, is going right into chaturanga. So I would take a breath in, and then instead of exhaling into high plank, I would come exhale all the way through chaturanga. So that is a transition option one, to come in and then to exit out. Then I have one more for you. So we're gonna do that one both sides. So let's do left hand as the base first. So come into high plank. We'll do left hand as your base. Oh no, I'm sorry. Reach your right leg up and step it through to low lunge, because we want to transition slightly different way. Yeah, so lunge forward. And then your left hand will plant. Inhale, right arm, reach it up. Find your twist. You have plenty of time. So first, press down, shoulder to palm, and then make your back left leg so strong. Start to roll onto the pinky edge of the foot. Shift your weight more into that arm, into that leg. Nice, Genevieve, step it back. Good, Andre. Yes, good, Jeremy. Nice, Sandra, Carmel, Sandy, yes. Okay, big inhale, good, Karina. Try that exhale right through chaturanga. Yes. Awesome. Okay, left leg lifts. Step it through. Low lunge twist to your left. Right hand plants, inhale, left arm up. Good. Pause. Anchor down. Shoulder to palm first. Roll onto the pinky edge of your right foot now. Keep it open. Step back slow with control on that base leg and base palm, side plank. Good. Hold and breathe. You arrive into the pose. One more breath in. Exhale, square the shoulders to the earth, right through chaturanga. Good. Breath in. Breath out. Lower your knees down. We're going to do one more. So this will be just, we'll enter this one directly in from side plank. This is options in side plank. I'm just going to kind of brush through the ones that we see the most, right? So the ones that we see the most is, right, lifting a leg, right? But you're only going to lift that leg as long as this doesn't happen, right? Then you're dipping or collapsing into your shoulder or the hips are coming down. You're only lifting if you can maintain that base leg and base arm. So that's one. Option two is, which I like this one a lot, is lifting the hips up and bending the leg. And I ground that base foot now all the way to the earth, right? Some of you have seen this one before. This requires those hamstrings to be open like we talked about earlier. Hooking a toe. And then tree pose. Whew, arm is tired. Foot can come up. This is gonna lead me into a transition you can take actually. You can come directly into a tree chaturanga. But you have to maintain that same pause that we did in our chaturangas previously in order to be able to pause that chaturanga and bring your leg back so it's set for your up dog or cobra, right? Whew. My heart's beating super fast. Okay. High plank pose. What you're gonna do is you're gonna pick, before you go into side plank, and we'll be done with side plank for today. We could just do the rest of the class doing all sorts of weird things in and out of side plank, but we won't. We'll move on. This is just food for thought. So think of one that you wanna try. That bent leg, a lengthened leg, a hooked toe, tree pose. If you wanna do that tree pose transition, but you wanna try another option, exit into tree, and then through that chaturanga. So come on in. Good. Play with a lifted leg, a different variation. Nice, Jeremy. Good, Carmel. Breathe. Good, Genevieve. If you like, nice, Sandy. If you want to play with that tree chaturanga, bend the leg in, chaturanga through tree, pause, shoot your leg back to up dog or cobra. Woo! Good, Andre. Downward facing dog. So strong, you guys. There's a child's pose after this. Big breath in. Big breath out. High plank. Other side. Right, for most of us, that'll be right hand is the base, left arm reaching up. Figure out which variation you want to try, right? Checking it out. Try not to have the hip dip. Keep pressing the earth away. And then your transition, maybe through that tree chaturanga, and then shoot your leg back for up dog or cobra. Oh, excellent. Child's pose, balasana. You may want to give the shoulders a little bit of a reprieve here with your arms along your sides, palms facing up. And you'll just come back to your breath. Whew. Noticing the rise and the fall of your chest and your belly on your thighs. And if child's pose is in a place that you want to stay resting, you can also bring it up to a seat. Breathe well and breathe full there. Where can you, for a moment, find peace and rest?
2 more. And work yourself back to a downward facing dog. On your inhale, rising up to your toes, bending your knees, gaze up between your hands. Bottom of your exhale, step, hop, or float, top of your mat. Inhale, long spine, half lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, sit low, sweep your arms up. Good. Activate those legs, inner thighs draw in, press down, glutes to heels. Full breath, long spine out of the hips. One more breath in. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, long spine, half lift. Exhale to fold. Separate your feet the distance of your hips. Grab your big toes here, index, middle finger, and thumbs. Padangusthasana. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Belly to thigh connection. Take a half lift to prepare. Lift your heart. Exhale, hinge and fold. Find the shoulders drawing down the back. Legs do not need to be super stick straight. Can you have a long spine here? Can you meet your upper body to your lower body? Can you breathe well? One more. Release your big toes. Inhale, long spine, half lift. Exhale, bow. Maybe the feet come back a little closer together. Chair pose, Utkatasana, second time. Sit your hips low, sweep your arms up. This one, like a little elevator, you're gonna slowly lower all the way down to a seat. Now pause. I want you to glue the inner seams of your feet together, okay? Reach your arms forward, and now keep the inner seams of the feet together, and then draw your knees up the sides of the arms like you would for crow as much as you can. So it's super deep hip flexion. Good. Now, keep your spine long. Just the shoulder blades are slightly rounded because you're pressing forward. Work your legs out long, like boat pose, or halfway bent like boat pose. And then inner seams, hug in, crow. Press out, hug in, that's crow. One more, press out, hug in, there's your crow. Bring the soles of the feet together. Take a breath in, a little reprieve. Exhale, fold it forward. Baddha Konasana. The hip flexors need a little love here because we're gonna do that one more time. One more breath. Lift your upper body back up and then come right back in. So once more, glue, hover your feet, right? Glue them together like so, but then turn the knees out. Work your arms forward, hug in, press forward, lengthen the legs as far as they'll go. Keep your spine long, boat pose. Hug in, yes, and lengthen out. 2 more, hug in, press out. Last one, hug in, press out. Now this one, bring it down, bring your left leg out in front of you. Back a little bit. And then bend your right leg back so we can open up the quads after that work. Half Virasana or Hero's Pose, lying back, maybe just your forearms, elbows. Maybe you can recline all the way down and grab opposite elbows up over the top of the head. We're not here for too long, so there's nothing wrong with just keeping it propped up a little bit, just for the sake of transition. One more breath. Other side. Work your right leg out long, bend your left leg in, top of the foot to the earth. Hinge back, reach your tailbone forward. You might even lift the seat up there a little bit to re-situate it down. Again, you can be on your forearms, elbows, hands, or all the way down on the back, taking opposite elbows. One more breath. You'll release. Come all the way back up. Bring your legs out in front of you. Shake them out a little bit. Pat them down. Cross your legs back. Optional vinyasa or just right to downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out as you find your down dog. Good. On your inhale, rise all the way up to your toes, bend your knees, gaze up between your hands. Bottom of your exhale, step, hop, or float, top of your mat. Inhale, long spine, half lift right into the sides of your body. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, sit low, sweep your arms up. Here we go. Exhale, fold it forward. We're taking crow pose. Inhale, long spine, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Now, before we go up, ask you might know already, just by the backs of the legs, that it might be beneficial to grab something to step on here so that your knees can automatically be higher up on the arms. So notice even if you chaturanga your arms and your feet are flat on the ground, still, if your knees are really far down and closer to your elbow than your shoulder, then I totally suggest lifting the feet a little bit because that's just gonna help aid things into the arm balance that you can't fix right now, like deep hip flexion, right? And that can be work in progress that you work with in your mobility, but for right now, trying the arm balance, why not just lift the legs up a little bit? This is an easy solver by standing on something. Okay, and then so important to really grip your fingertips, splay your fingers wide, grip your fingertips into your mat. Use weight distribution, like splay so wide. Yep. Walk your knees up those arms, keep it high, gazes down, round your spine now, pull your shoulder blades away from one another, press the ground away. Good, Jeremy. Scoop your belly, heels towards your seat. Yes, one more breath. Bring your feet down, take it to a forward fold, grab opposite elbows, and just sway a little bit. Good. Release your elbows. Inhale, long spine, half lift. Exhale, fold. Come to a place where you can watch here just for a second, and we're going to do it a second time. So this is going to give you 3 transitions. I'm taking this a tiny step farther today because all of you have like really decent crows that you're already working with from what I can see, right? There's nothing wrong. Don't feel like just because I said you have a decent crow that means you need to add on. You might just be like, I'm taking this again because I want to build strength by just holding and breathing in the pose, because that is actually the most beneficial, right? The longer you can hold, you're building stamina and strength to then be able to layer in more movement or more transition, right? Because crow is there's so many things that you can do in and out of crow. I'm going to give you 2. One is the one we hear from a lot, which is like shooting your legs back right into chaturanga. So similar from our side plank, we came right into chaturanga. This would be crow right into chaturanga. So that'll be number 1. And then number 2, I'm not breaking down headstand today. So this is only be if you have a decent headstand tripod practice on your own. You're not going to do it if you don't today because I don't have time to break down headstand. But I know some of you have that as part of your practice. So if you have a tripod headstand, you could go from crow to headstand. I'm going to give you 2 options from there to either hop back from headstand to chaturanga or to come back into crow, okay? So bear with me. I'm going to go as quick as I can because then we still have a handstand after this. So crow, first just into chaturanga. So crow, right here, gazing forward, pressing the earth away. I got to press and I got to go, all or nothing, right? I have fallen on my face, hit my chin a few times. So if you want, you're going to do this one, you can also put a blanket underneath you. It's all or nothing. Shoot chest forward, legs back. If you go halfway, you might hit, but mostly what happens is this. If we don't go all out,
it's this, right? Usually your shins, knees hit, doesn't really hurt. You just kind of flop down halfway. Second, crow to headstand. Crow's actually nice as you're starting to learn. If you have a headstand practice and you want to bail out, you can let that head come down and come up into headstand. I'm going to show hop back first to chaturanga. This is a pretty hard one because you have to be able to lift your head up into chaturanga. Now the other option would be to, from crow to headstand, and then you're in headstand. Instead of hopping back, you're gonna bend back here, lift your heels up. This is core, scooping my belly. I have to dip my hips down first. That's just gravity to the squatty crow to be able to lift my head. And then I have to press down, thigh master, squeeze in, lift my hips up, and draw my feet back in. Okay, your turn. All while talking. So if you guys could also talk while you're trying this so you know what that feels like, that'd be great. Just kidding, just kidding. All right. You're choosing one today, right? All the others are kind of food for thought. You can try them on your own, right? So bring it into, you're just holding, working stamina, doing crow again. You're gonna do crow to headstand. You're gonna do crow to hop back. You're gonna go crow to headstand, back to crow, right? Nice. Good, Heidi, yes. Draw those elbows in, Heidi, squeeze them in, yes, so good. Nice, Jeremy, good. Oh, my friends. This practice was made for you all. You look great. When you're ready to let that be, you need another second or so to finish or try something, go ahead. And then find a place of rest. Child's pose again, or maybe malasana, right? Malasana is like the total opposite of where we just were. Nice, Jeremy. That looked great. So, malasana is always like, it's very opposite of where we just were, so it can feel good to come into this counter pose. You often hear in yoga practices a lot that like, if you don't want to take crow pose, you can take malasana, right? But really this besides that deep hip flexion you're creating, which is good for crow, this is very opposite of crow. I'm not saying it's wrong, you can definitely take it, but I always at least try to encourage, if that's an option you're given, even if you really want malasana, but you're not wanting to do crow that day, at least to just do the prep work without lifting your feet up and just find that strength in the upper body first, and then come back down to malasana. All right. This is where we're gonna segue to your wall. So find a space. Maybe you should watch me here first really quick. So I'm actually gonna bring you just a tiny closer to me today. So what I want you to find is you find a wall space. First thing, your fingertips might be a little bit away from the wall, and there's no exact place it needs to be because everybody's body shape is different, and that also kind of depends when you're using the wall of like where your booty hits the wall, okay? Just full, like it's just how it is. It's just the way we're made. So what you're gonna have is, again, watch first, and what I want you to do is not kick up, and a lot of you have done handstands with me before, is not kicking up from standing. It's coming into down dog first. So it's not a gymnastics handstand, it's a yoga handstand. You're gonna lift one leg up, right? And you're gonna bend your base leg, lift your left leg super high, and then by pressing and a little hop, you're bringing yourself in. I want you to let your head drop, and here's the shoulders down the back, press the earth away so there's a little protraction. So shoulders
are engaged by hugging in, but they're also pressing down. So they are a little bit into your ears. So it is different.
You're engaged by drawing them in, but you're also pressing down, and your shoulders are more in towards your ears than in many other poses. That's okay, because you want them to be. They're stabilizing you. They're pressing down. You want to protract the shoulders and headstand a little bit. Belly back, ribs in. Remember how we did in plank pose? Active legs. We're going to do 3 sets at the wall. If I can see you, great. If I can't, that's also great, right? We're gonna do 1 round. We're building stamina and strength. You're gonna hold against the wall for 45 seconds. We're gonna do 1 where we hold for 30. We're gonna do 1 where we hold for 15. So they get shorter, right? Your counter pose in between sets is gonna be that ragdoll forward fold. Here we go. So bring it on in. Press with control. You press down, lift a leg to kick up. It might take you a couple hops. That's totally fine. You have the wall there, so guess what the worst case scenario is? The wall like pushes you back down. No big deal. You might need to walk a little further back from the wall in order to kick up. Also okay. If you're there, you're holding and breathing. My friends, you're about halfway there this first round. Good, Sandra. Good, Sandy. Hold and breathe. If you're having trouble kicking up to the wall, that's okay. Can you press your hands down still and lift 1 leg? If you're up at the wall, come down, grab opposite elbows. Even those of you that have been working the hops, now take a little break, grab opposite elbows, ragdoll, give your upper body, your spine, your core a reprieve. Let your belly soften, let your head go, let your neck soften. Yes. Breathe full and well. You guys are a bit saved by the bell because I want to do 1 more thing in handstand. So we're just going to do 1 more round, okay? If you were predominantly hopping off of 1 foot, I want you to try the other leg. For some of us, that might be the less dominant leg. For others, you might be surprised what the other leg feels like. Maybe it feels better to hop off. So you're just kind of scanning, you're checking it out, you're figuring it out along the way. So that was good, Sandy. When you get up there, these hops look good. When you get up there, maybe this time, if you're up and holding, Jeremy, maybe you lift 1 leg away from the wall, like you're pressing and flexing it up towards the ceiling. Belly back, ribs pull in. And then, yes, then you'll place that foot against the wall, and then you'll do the other. Good, Andre. Couple more breaths. This is a shorter hold. Yes. Come all the way down. Grab opposite elbows, release your head and neck. So this is the last one. And I wanted to make sure that we had enough time here today to do this one because, and all of you probably have done this one with me in class before. This is where we're just gonna step through to crescent lunge and we're gonna do 3 handstand hops back. What I like about this is that what I want you to know in these handstand hops, it's not about getting to the wall, right? It's about learning the hop and the transition, right? So the more comfortable we feel in that base of how to get there, the easier it is to get there. You have to be able to be comfortable in that first. All of these poses, but especially handstand, is more of a mind, right? Like a mind, I want to say a bad word if you guys know what it is there, right? It's a mind trick versus that your body isn't physically capable of it, right?
our brain is like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go there. It's scary. What if I fall over the top of myself? Blah, 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 blah. And so what I want you to do in these hops is like you entered in with, I'm doing as much as I can. I'm hopping as much as I can, as much as I'm comfortable with, and I'm building a foundation so that I'm creating muscle memory that this gets more comfortable. My friends, whenever you are taking a class, but definitely every time you're in my class, you can always do these hops, even if I don't cue them, okay? The more you do it, the easier it is. So when we're like, even if you're in Warrior 2, oh, we cartwheel down, and then I say step it back, take a vinyasa, you could hop it back, step it halfway back, take a hop, and vinyasa. The more you do it, the more you get comfortable, okay? Downward facing dog. On your inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms sweep up. Good. On your exhale, hands come all the way down to your mat. Step your right foot halfway back towards your down dog. Shoot your left leg up towards the ceiling. Hold. Now, this is where that standing splits from earlier comes into action. That leg that's long and strong, the higher it can lift, the easier it is to press down now into your hands, protract your shoulders, pull your belly back, hop up, right heel to seat, strong left leg into the ceiling. Take 3 hops. Press down to lift up. After 3, step it back. Vinyasa or not. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands come down. Step your left foot halfway back towards your down dog. Shoot your right leg up towards the ceiling. Pause, protract the shoulders away from one another. Lock out the elbows a little bit. Pull the biceps in. Grip your fingertips into the earth. Light up your flying right leg. Belly to thigh, 3 hops. Left heel to seat. Strong right leg into the ceiling. Good. Step it back. Let it go. Vinyasa or not. I'm going to give you the option to do one more each side. If you're done, you can take figure 4 pose on your back instead. If you're doing it again, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step it halfway back. Set yourself up. Press the ground away from you. Ignite your leg in the air. As many hops as you have left in you. 1, 2, 3. Good. Press down to lift up. Good. When you're ready, let it go. Step it back. Vinyasa or not. Those of you in figure 4, do the other side. Here we go. Left leg lifts. Step it through. Crescent lunge. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step your left foot halfway back towards your down dog. Shoot your right leg up towards the ceiling. Shoulders over wrists. Bend your left leg. Glue it to your belly. Ignite your right leg. 1 hop, 2 hops, right? However many hops you have left. Step it back, vinyasa or not. If you're on your back in figure 4 pose, unwind, come up to a seat. If you're in down dog, come to a seat. Make fists. Glue your fists together. Press the tops of the fists down to the ground. Keep the fists, keep the knuckles, press the ground away from you. Shake them out. Bring your right arm out in front of you, palm facing down. Pull your thumb, your index, your middle, your ring, and your pinky. Other side. Your thumb, your index, your middle finger, your ring, your pinky. Shake them out. Roll your neck one direction, in the other direction. Roll your shoulders with your arms back. And then forward. Come on down to your back. Happy baby pose. Knees, feet, outsides of your body. Rock it out a little if you like. And then as you're ready, a final squeeze in of gratitude. Shavasana. Take up some space. Let your legs go out a little wider maybe than usual today. Let your arms come away from the side of the body. Like a little snow angel. Let all of your muscles drape from your bones. Knowing that you are able to show up in the daunting, in the uncomfortable, all in the ability to learn and grow more into yourself. Again, it's not about the pose, right? It's about the journey. It's about the learning of ourselves. Who cares if you get into crow? Who cares if you hop back? Who cares if you come into handstand? But what is it that you're learning of yourself in the process? I'm going to be respectful of your time. Okay, so if you want to stay and linger in Shavasana another few minutes, please do. You did so much today. You asked so much of your body. If there's anybody who has any questions post the closing of class, I am more than welcome to answer any questions or break anything down for a few minutes. If there was something that came up that if you were in class or I was in person, you would have asked, I'm happy to break it down a little more with you. That's totally fine. My hands at my heart to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here, for coming with an open mind and open heart. Until next time, my friends, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be well. Big bow of gratitude. Thank you so much.